So much at stake in Spokane here in the Gainbridge Super League with just a couple of weeks remaining in the regular season. Spokane Zephyr FC hoping to jump into one of the playoff spots, while Lexington SC hope to claim the top overall seed. Happy to have you along this evening on Peacock. Alongside Saskia Weber, I'm Joe Malfa. This is what it means in terms of the standings. Lexington with a victory could go top of the table. They just beat Sporting Jacks last week and now can parlay that into the top spot. I want to draw your attention to the 6th seed Spokane Zephyr. After Dallas and DC tied yesterday, the door was open for Spokane with a win tonight to jump into a playoff spot. And Saskia, a goalkeeper yourself, on nights like this, when there's so much at stake, you want to put those two keepers into the spotlight. They could be the difference makers for their teams picking up the results.
Yeah, with Hope Heisey for Spokane. Look, 150 saves in her career so far. She's got great vision, body shape. She's steady with her distribution, and she's got this great pinpoint throw that can help influence transition. Now, as far as Catherine Asman goes, look, 9 clean sheets, and the reason for that is her positioning. She makes the goal look so small for attackers to look at, and she wants to influence as that 11th player tonight and eat up anything that comes direct and in behind.
And these two keepers might be active. Between Catherine Barry and her league lead, 15 goals on the Lexington side, Lena Solano and her 6 goals on the Spokane side could be active in goal. It's Spokane and Lexington next on Peacock. Major playoff implications at hand.
Caitlin Clark, amazing at assists. Gainbridge, the ultimate assist for your savings. But ever since they teamed up, she's taken assisting to a whole new level. Caitlin Clark, great at assists. Gainbridge, great at assists for your savings.
Players taking the field here in Spokane as Spokane Zephyr welcome Lexington SC. The finish line is in sight in the regular season. 3 big points on the line as we meet the starting 11s for both sides. And we start with Spokane. This is a group that, with the win, could jump into a playoff spot.
Yeah, and 2 changes for Spokane tonight. Kelsey Euler gets to start at outside back. Lena Solano in at the 9 sees Maya Hansen drop into the midfield along with Knox, Jaskanik, and Fontenot.
Peaking maybe at the right time. Nicole Lukic's squad coming off back-to-back wins that have them in this position, 2 points away from the playoff line into the net. On the other side for Lexington, right now atop the table, a team that has been on an absolute tear this year for head coach Kosuke Kimura, and all eyes will be up top on Golden Boot leader Catherine Barry.
Yeah, and only one change for Lexington tonight. Hannah Schartz is in at center back for Allie Brown. Coming out in a 4-3-3, look for Addie McCain to control the midfield at the 10, trying to isolate Barry, letting her run in behind the D.
And not just Catherine Barry, also Mackenzie Weinert to her left, 8 goals this season. It's Catherine Barry running away with that Golden Boot at the moment, but Barry and Weinert have formed a formidable tandem. So different it's been this year for Lexington. At this time last year, they were 4-14-5, near the bottom of the table. Now this year, in position to end up with the #1 seed and to have that home game to begin the postseason. If the season were to end right now, coming into the night, it would have been Sporting Jacks hosting Dallas and Lexington hosting Carolina, with Spokane on the outside looking in. So much can and will change this evening. Saskia, you've been there in the pressures of games like this in your career, whether it's a tournament and points are on the line in group play or a regular season, whatever the case may be. You know there's a heightened sense of importance to these 3 points. How do you make sure you stay within yourself as a player and just play your game?
Well, you just have to play it one game at a time, and you don't want to get into that mentality. Even though you've already clinched a playoff spot in Lexington, you want to go in with that #1 seed, and that's so important. That's why we didn't see many changes to the lineup, and you know they're not going to manage minutes here. They're going after it.
In the young history of the Gainbridge Super League, a win tonight for Lexington would see Lexington break the Gainbridge Super League single season points record, still with a couple of weeks remaining. That's on the line for Kosuke Kimura and this group. Tough to beat, only 3 losses all season for Lexington after opening the season with a 16-match unbeaten run. For Spokane, the tide began to turn after Nicole Lukic took over, and an influx of players into the spring portion of the season. And now after 2 timely wins, the last 2 games, Spokane in position to leapfrog into a playoff spot. They have to take care of business at home. And we asked Nicole Lukic in our conversation this week, what's changed these last couple of weeks as far as being able to peak at the right time? And she sort of chuckled, and there are a couple of reasons sporting-wise, but the biggest thing she said, well, we're playing at home. It's not easy to travel from Spokane to the other locations around the league. So to just be able to be home for the stretch that they've been able to enjoy at home again tonight, they can defend home field with a victory. They'd be in a playoff spot for the time being.
And it makes a huge difference. It really does, especially that distance, Spokane, pretty much as far as you can get to travel to other games, especially if you have to go to Florida, you know, from Washington. So to be home definitely makes a difference, and I get that. Look, it's a tale of 2 different teams. Yes, Lexington wants to get that #1 seed, but Spokane has to go for it. So you're gonna see them push, and with that push, it's gonna open up chances and spaces for Lexington to get into.
It's Lexington from left to right in the green, and Spokane from right to left in the gray. And away we go on a gorgeous evening in Spokane. With Saskia Weber, I'm Joe Malva. Happy to have you with us on Peacock for the Gainbridge Super League. Stage was set last night after the result between Dallas and DC. A draw 1-1 between those 2 teams has Dallas in 4th on 34 points, DC in 5th on 33. So Spokane with a win could leapfrog both and into a playoff spot.
And right from the start, you see Lexington looking to go direct, run those flanks, and isolate Weinhardt into the corners.
Barry through, flag stays down early. Look here for Lexington on the turn. Fed through, but nobody home. It was Sarah Griffin flashing it across the box. Lumped in, back post numbers there for Lexington. Out for a goal kick, promising start for the most potent attack in the league.
Yeah, and unlucky for Lexington because they really caught Spokane unorganized in the box. You could see them looking around whether they were playing zone or trying to find man-to-man marking and just not being able to capitalize on that miscommunication.
Hope Heisey in goal for Spokane. Already having to see quite a bit in terms of danger in front of her net.
Yeah, we talked about Heisey and how she's got 150 plus saves in her career. And that's great for a goalkeeper, but it also says something about your defense as well if you're leading the league in saves.
Take a look at tonight's keys to the game presented by Ford. What do you got for us, Saskia?
Oh, so sorry. For Spokane, they want to dictate the tempo, slow this down, play their game, find the passes in the midfield, and then for Lexington, possess with a purpose. That means while you're possessing, move forward, find the right passes, and make the most out of your opportunities in the final third.
So much of it, too, is just finding a way to harness the emotion on a night like this with so much on the line. Lexington on the way, it seems, to clinching a home playoff game in the semifinals. Could end up as the #1 overall seed. Meanwhile, Spokane just looking to get in. Tonight's injury report brought to you by Kinetic Chiropractic, a modern approach to chiropractic care. Nothing officially reported from Lexington. A couple on that list for Spokane. But a lot of the key players that you want in at this time of year are healthy and are ready to go. Griffith. Did just trickle over the line, out for a throw. Ginger Fontenot getting back into play. A pair of goals and a pair of assists on the season. Fontenot. Lena Solano misplays it. Coming back to the United States this year, Lena Solano, after spending the first half of 2025 in Spain with Tenerife, joined Spokane ahead of this season. 6 goals and 4 assists. Only to find her early and often tonight, Lena Solano.
Yeah, and she's so strong with the ball at her feet. Faced up, going 1v1. She draws the D in, so you want to find her. You want to get her isolated and let her run at that back line.
Nicole Lukic hoping to get this team across the finish line above the playoff line. This is one of those games for Spokane. If you win it against a team that you may be meeting in the semifinal in the playoffs, you're going to draw a lot of confidence from this. If you could find a way to down Lexington, easier said than done. Raji. Griffith. Patient. Kosuke Kimura. The head coach looks on. That ball stayed in play with the backspin. It'll be a corner for Lexington. Quirky spin on that one.
Yeah, and this is going to be a dangerous corner for Hope Heisey because that sun on that side of the field, you can see her raising her hand up, is right in her eyes. If I were Lexington, I would drive this right into the top of the 6, middle of the box, force Heisey to try to come and make a play on it without the good eyesight.
Bourgeois goes short. They didn't listen to you, but maybe now. At the end line, still on the ground. It's okay, Saskia. You know what? It didn't work out. So maybe if they listened to you, it would have worked out.
Maybe it'll work out next time. But it's use the elements when you have them in your favor.
They're going to have another chance to do it right now.
Not only is it affecting Heisey, yes, it affects your players as well, but it affects the defense. So if anything, this ball can just be dropped into the mix, and you can find like just a flick in or somebody on the end of it.
See if Bourgeois goes direct this time. Short again. Raji. Now the lofted ball from Raji. The header toward goal is no trouble for Hope Heisey. So they do end up serving it in this time at least, but not directly from the corner.
Yeah, not from the angle that really had the sun affect anything with it.
Toiler. Knocked down by Griffith. It's funny, Griffith is sort of the forgotten player in this attack for Lexington because of Barry's 15 goals and Weinert's 8 goals, but Griffith has 4 goals and 4 assists of her own. Free kick coming out for Lexington.
Yeah, and Spokane's going to have to be better on the build. Lexington isn't high pressing them. They're allowing them to bring the ball up and deliver that first pass. So just giving the ball away without pressure is not going to be the answer in the first half of this game. It's got to be better.
Flash toward goal, but wide from Catherine Barry. That's how quickly she can create an opportunity for herself.
And this is why Catherine Barry's so effective and leading the league. Watch how quick she pulls the trigger here. Doesn't need much space or a window. Just can't get around it enough to put it on the frame. But that's how she can punish you.
Kosuke Kimura has seen that a lot this year. Licensed to go for goal whenever she pleases, Catherine Berry. The other way. Try from a long distance, fizzes over the bar from Felicia Knox. Testing Kat Asman, who had it covered.
You know, and I don't mind that at all, Joe. Like, why not test the keeper early? She has the open look, she finds the window, and gets all of this. It just doesn't dip down in the end. I think Asman has this covered. She has enough depth in the goal that even if it did dip down, she would have gotten the tip on it. But go ahead, test the keeper early.
That's something you keep in the back of your mind, and the next time the ball finds Knox, as a defender, maybe you're closing down to her, which opens space up and behind for somebody else. Keep Lexington on their toes. Bourgeois. Tuso. Steigletter. Lexington's doing so well controlling in the possession.
And you would think that maybe Spokane would come out with a high press, but what Lexington is doing is they are spreading this field so wide that Spokane can't stay connected enough to create a high press as a triangle.
It's interesting as this game goes along. A tie for Lexington is okay. It puts them still in a good position, a good opportunity to end up as the 1 seed. Tie is not great for Spokane. They're still right in the thick of it, but you have to be thinking about all 3 points tonight for Spokane to jump into that playoff spot. So the question of risk management and how much you want to push your chips in a game like this and go for it will be interesting as this game goes on. Will the press go higher from Spokane? Is there more room in behind for the potent attack of Lexington? The chess match and the risk assessment that'll come into play from these coaches. 10 minutes gone, still scoreless in Spokane. Over the top for Catherine Rapp, who runs onto it, knocked down, out for a corner. First corner of the day for Spokane. Corner brought to you by ICCU, your financial success fan club.
And that's good timing on that tackle by Hannah Schartz. Just patient enough. It went out for a corner, but if you're going down to the ground, you got to get the ball, even if it's a corner.
Euler comes up to take it. Rookie out of Gonzaga. th start this season for Euler. On the in-swinger, Euler headed clear. Only as far as Katie Murray, back to Euler. Second bite at the apple for Euler. Still hangs up loose, headed toward goal with her back to goal. Inventive there from Reese Tappan, but not quite.
And that's good work by Euler just to put that ball into the mix, to create problems. It's going to be a weapon moving forward on that far side for Spokane.
Scan now, you'll win one of 20 unique restaurant discounts. Thank you to Caruso's, the Burger Doc, Flat Stick Pub, Casa Tap House, Canala People's Waffle, and Method Juice Cafe. Football or fuel for you. A lot to deal with there for Bourgeois. Fontenot takes it back. Throw for Lexington. The referee saying to put it down. Free kick. Foul called against Fontenot.
And I like that pressure in that zone from Spokane. Although Fontenot created the foul, that's a good place for Spokane to trap the ball.
switch, plenty of space on that far side. Keeper off the line. Hope Heisey gets to it, has to scramble back. Addie McCain looking toward goal. McCain tried to lift it over the top of everybody. McCain, Raji.
And McCain needs to take that ball first time left foot. She had Hope Heisey all the way outside the 18, tried to bring it down to her right foot, and it gave Spokane time to recover defensively.
Positive moments for both already in the attack. Neither goalkeeper having to make any terrific save just quite yet, not tested. Dangerous moments for both attacks. No.
I mean, it was a brilliant ball by Lexington in that space, and Hope Heisey did really well to come off her line. Missed the clear, and was lucky that McCain didn't hit it first time, but a great ball.
Kelly Thomas gets it back into play. Somebody Nicole Lukic pointed to as an unsung hero in this stretch of play for Spokane, wearing the captain's armband tonight. Kelly Thomas from Tri-Cities, Washington. Went over to play in Iceland and Germany for a bit before coming this way and joining Spokane last year. Anchoring a back line. And has tightened things up down the stretch, peaking perhaps at the right time.
Yeah, and she's shown herself to be a leader back there. She's versatile. She moved back into the center back position, but the way I like she's playing right now, she's giving some depth. So Lexington doesn't have that long direct ball that's really on. It got through on that last one, and that's why Hope Heisey was there to clean it up. But her positioning right now is really good. It's just shutting that service down.
Minutes come and gone, a pair of shots each. Lexington with one on target, Spokane yet to hit target. Possession is heftily in favor of Lexington, nearly 75-25 the advantage there. And they put their foot on it and control once again. Really amazing year over year, the turnaround for Lexington. 15 new players into the roster, a new head coach in Kosuke Kimura, from 4-14-5 this time last year. Just above the bottom to now 12-3-10, and maybe at the top with a win tonight, setting the record for points in a season in Super League. To be fair, it's year 2. A lot of those marks still set, but still a mark to be set. Especially with the year-on-year increase for Lexington. Weiner looking through, nothing there. Windermere Foundation is thrilled to welcome our charity of the month. It's more than a home, it's a way to give back. Please visit our site at www.windermerefoundation.com.
You know, Joe, and you talked about Lexington with the majority of possession, but it goes back to what we talked about in the start of the game, was possessing with purpose.
Right.
And they're not getting any joy in the final third or creating from that possession.
Team defensively for Spokane. If you're seeing an opponent have 75% of the possession and all they muster from that is 2 shots and nothing truly threatening, you'd probably take that.
Yeah, basically what they're doing is passing the ball laterally in front of you and not finding those seams or spreading you out and moving you around enough to exploit you.
No. For a Spokane throw. Select is the official match ball supplier of the Gainbridge Super League and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest product specials and more. Select, the player's choice. over the top, looking direct here. Spokane race for the ball. Gathered by Asman.
That's good work by Asman. Nice, strong, and quick off her line. That's what you want. It's like a statement save for a goalkeeper.
9 clean sheets this season. A lot of that credit to the back line and the system for Lexington. But Asman on loan from the Orlando Pride and NWSL, 39th overall pick in the 2024 draft by the Portland Thorns. After an outstanding collegiate career at Penn State. It's always tough to find time as a goalkeeper. Make the most of a loan like this. Do wonders for her career, and it's done wonders for Lexington this season.
Yeah, as a goalkeeper, you have to move around. You can't spend your career third or second on a bench because you don't sub, which means as time goes on and you're not playing, somebody else is. So we see a lot of transition with goalkeepers through leagues around the world.
Here's Barry.
Trust me, I know.
Barry delivering back post, a little bit too tall on the service for Mackenzie Weiner. Somehow that ball did stay in.
And it was a nice service in. Weiner just got into the space a little bit too soon, and so she got under it and couldn't get behind that ball. If she had, that would have been in the back of the net, Joe.
Weiner's done it 8 times this season. Wrap through, and a clearance from Asman. Ends up finding Bourgeois.
And we're seeing this game open up a little bit more. Lexington spreading the field both laterally and end line to end line, and it's starting to make windows in between, but we're watching Spokane on the quick transition as well. This could get fun.
It feels like all this will take right now is one moment to really set everything into motion.
Yeah, because it's interesting on either side. Depending on who scores first, the reaction from the other team. Again, Lexington wants to finish first in the league. Spokane wants to make the playoffs. So somebody's going to have to score first, and then the other person's going to have to go for it, regardless of which side.
Here's Griffith looking to initiate the goal scoring for Lexington. Weiner cutting in, back toward Griffith. Elite Minds, unlock your mind, unlock your game. Visit our website today. Could be numbers here for Spokane. Through the middle, it's Wrap. Oh, good foot on that one from Pantuso defensively.
Great defense from Pantuso. It's just the timing, watching the ball, not the player, and that step to shut down that attack.
Is either manager happier at this point or pretty neutral on both sides?
I think you're pretty neutral on both sides. Part of me feels like both teams are still feeling each other out and haven't really figured out how to break the other down.
Found the feet of Lena Solano yet, Spokane. Leading the way with 6 goals and 4 assists. The more they can get her involved, the better.
Yeah, I also feel that Solano's kind of making herself be marked. She's not getting into open space and finding those seams to get the ball to her feet. She needs to be more dynamic in her movement.
Knox has already taken one from distance, passes this one off instead. Thought she was thinking about it again. Tappan gets into play. Just off of Maya Hansen, wasted from Spokane. Not the only action going on right now. Elsewhere, the two Florida teams, Fort Lauderdale hosting Tampa Bay. It's Tampa Bay 2, Fort Lauderdale 1. Right at the tail end of that one. Both those teams are already eliminated. One game tomorrow in the Super League with Sporting Jacks hosting Brooklyn. Sporting Jacks keeping a keen eye on this game. In the live table, Lexington 47 points from 26 games, and the tiebreaker, Sporting Jacks 47 points from 25 games in second place. Would have that game in hand tomorrow at home against 7th place Brooklyn to leapfrog back into first. Elmer. Barry looking to settle, flicked away by Jaskinik. Sent long towards Solano, coming together there between Solano and Steiglander.
And going to get the foul. Had she not hit that foul, I think.
Well, they actually get the offside
was it
first to
offside?
negate the foul call.
Yeah, because had that not happened, that would have been a dangerous ball in behind. What neither team's doing very well right now is changing the point quickly. It's taking too long to switch sides of the field, so it's easier for Spokane and Lexington's defense to adjust.
Space in behind now for Bourgeois. Delivering back post. Did it take a deflection? No. Just mishit it. Goal kick.
And that was a better ball coming out of the back by Lexington. That quick transition. You don't have to go to the through the midfield sometimes. You can find those flank areas in and behind. Bourgeois just got around that one and mishit it. But that was a better service by Lexington.
Elmer. This desperation from Lexington looking long, a little bit out of character for them. They do have an opportunity here to lock in Spokane. Core Institute, your wellness playground. Raji looking for Weiner. Comes around, stays with Lexington. Taylor Almer. Good vision, spotting Bourgeois. Bourgeois going for goal, saved by Heisey. Touching it around the post.
And this is great movement by Lexington. What a beautiful ball into space, into Bourgeois. But you know what? An even better save by Hope Heisey. This is great positioning. She gets set in time and able to get that paw down low to parry it around the post.
Now it's Bourgeois who will take the corner. Alyssa Bourgeois drops it in. Header is loose for Heisey to gather. And crisis averted for Spokane. Long throw out. Hoping to spark the transitional moment. Murray.
That's that transitional throw that Hope Heisey has in her arsenal. I love it. I think it's a lost art. All we used to do is throw in distribution.
Murray. Plenty of space to take here for Murray. Futno. Futno is offside. So for all that space and time afforded to Murray, could not get in sync with the attacking unit. teams have punched their ticket into the Gainbridge Super League playoffs, but the season is far from over. To stay up to date on all the latest info, analysis, and insight, visit GainbridgeSuperLeague.com. The battle between Griffith, Euler. It's Euler who wins it, shielding. It stays in. It was it off of last. So Griffith was claiming it was off of Euler, but it's a goal kick.
And I think Euler was looking for some help and support from her teammates while everybody was just watching the battle go down.
Hansen. Falls for Jaskinik. Back to Hansen. Knox pushes ahead. Solano centering for a corner.
See if Euler can put another nice ball right into that mix. Force Asman to come and make a play on the ball.
ICCU corner kick, they go short. Fontenot, where it started. Euler pressuring. Fontenot works it through, slots it ahead. Solano saved by Asman.
That's nice work by Fontenot in the tight spaces to get in on goal. I think, honestly, she wanted that ball back. You saw her continue her run on. Instead, the shot into the hands of Asman.
Half an hour gone here in Spokane. Still scoreless between Spokane Zephyr and Lexington. Happy to have you with us on Peacock in the Gainbridge Super League. Alongside Saskia Weber, I'm Joe Malfa. What's at stake? A win for Lexington puts them in pole position for the 1 seed. Not done and dusted and clinched yet, but they'd be in first. For Spokane, a win would put them in the 4th spot. Again, still a couple weeks remaining, so nothing clinched, but they would end the night in a playoff spot. Both teams looking for a 3rd consecutive victory. And a foul called against Maya Hansen.
And again, there's no need to foul there. You have Lexington in their own defensive 3rd, facing their own goal. Just stand her up, force her to go back to the keeper or try to go or put the ball out of bounds. There's no reason to foul. But for the past maybe 10 minutes or so, Spokane's been able to put the pressure on Lexington and keep them in their own half.
Lumberbeard Brewing is proud to be the preferred craft brewery partner of USL Spokane. Visit our downtown tasting room for expertly crafted beer and food. Dicey moment at the back.
That was good pressure by Spokane, but even better breaking of the press by Lexington just to get out of that dicey situation. still can't get out of their half. What Lexington needs to do is get control of this ball and swing it back to the near side, come up the right side. They've been stuck on this far left side.
Feels like tide is maybe turning in this first half in favor of Spokane all of a sudden. Murray, end line. Murray looking for Solano, just wide.
And watch this touch by Murray on that far side. The quick double touch on the dribble to give herself space and allow her to get this cross off. Right here, you're gonna see her go towards the end line, then the double touch right there gives her the time and space to get this in. Solano's just beyond the post already when she tries to head this back the other direction. Almost gets it on frame though.
The season she's had, you expect that one to go in. 6 goals, 4 assists in 20 starts.
I agree with you though, Joe. The tide has turned. Lexington has not been able to cross the center line for the better part of the latter part of this first half.
You know, oftentimes we get the commentator's curse. We almost were right on cue there, talking about how it's turned in favor of Spokane, and almost right on cue, they almost scored.
Yeah, all of a sudden some direct transition ball.
Euler. Knox still with it somehow. Knox floats one, dangerous ball. Solano thinking about it. Plays it off instead. Tap in, delivers, Aspen has it.
Yeah, that's the kind of ball that, as a goalkeeper, you're just loving getting floated in there. It needs to be driven in about chest height. That would keep Asman on her line or make her come out and make a more difficult save. But that was easy pickings. I used to love those. Love them. Floated in here.
10 to go in this first half. Yellow card shown. Walking away from that challenge, Catherine Barry with the yellow.
And just breaking into the space, getting all body, no ball here. It's definitely a foul and a card. But now a free kick.
Sent long from Reese, tap in, punched away by Asman. Paid for it. Bit of contact there. Lexington's argument here is if that was a yellow on Barry for that last challenge, how about a yellow here on this challenge, crashing into the goalkeeper, Asman.
Interesting. I wouldn't have given a yellow for that either. I think that Murray tried to pull herself out of the situation. Asman kind of followed through. Asman kind of followed through into her.
Weiner. Keeps her feet, keeps the ball. Barry. Cutting. Barry blocked. Has to be careful going in. Pressuring still now on a yellow. Sharts comes all the way across. Is going to take a long throw here. You can see her stretching out, going through some motions. See where she could get this to. More teams using the long throw as a weapon. And a Sharts toward goal, and it's snatched by Heisey. Good alert play from the keeper. And now that long pinpoint throw out of transition that you highlighted, Saskia, plenty of space. Murray slowed down by McCain. Possession just about 60-40 now. Saskia, after earlier in this first half, it was about 75-25 in Lexington's favor. Spokane has really taken control of the latter part of this half, maybe the last 15-20 minutes or so.
We talked about in the beginning of the first half that you had asked me, you know, if it was pretty even. I felt that the teams were still trying to figure each other out and how to break it down. I think Spokane has a leg up now. They've realized how to slow the ball down. They found some seams to break through on the far side and have had some opportunities.
Stagletter. One just over the line. Let's see if Lexington can get any semblance of an attack back in this first half. Possession with a purpose was your key for this group. Hasn't really happened for the possession advantage that they still have. Only 14 final third entries compared to 21 for Spokane. Knox. Too much on it from Murray. Stagletter. Bourgeois. Stagletter once again. Late foul called, free kick for Lexington. Bourgeois puts in a dangerous ball. Tuso keeps it in play. But barreling through a defender, commits the foul, and the moment gone.
Yeah, and I think you're Lexington, you realize that you're just not connecting in the final third. That's again, possession with a purpose, and you've had possession, you've been able to shut things down, control the midfield at times, but once you're past midfield, they're just misconnections, and you're gonna have to go into the drawing room and slow things down and figure out why those passes aren't making, maybe stop going direct every time, find people's feet underneath.
wrap. Jaskinik. Jaskinik drops a dangerous ball in. It's going to become a corner now. Third ICCU corner kick, your Financial Success Fan Club for Spokane. Euler caroms around. Haven't really created any opportunities off these set pieces to this point, Spokane.
You know, that's something that going in at halftime, you want to address, because you've got, if you're getting up around the 4 or 5 corner kicks a half or restarts a half and you're not putting them in the back, you want to capitalize on those. At least one.
Final minute of this first half. Euler. Fontenot poked away by Bourgeois. Jaskinik, the guilty party here, played quickly by Lexington. Didn't seem like Barry was ready for it. There was some space to go, and Matty McCain noticed it. Here's Barry, though. Still Barry, the league's leading scorer, afforded a lot of space here before Tappan steps in. Barry floats one across.
But I do like what Barry did there, because the other problem solving wasn't working, sending long balls in. So why not eat that space up? Dribble into the space, draw the D, pull them out of position, then find the pass balls, then find the slotted balls.
Into first half stoppage time presented by Rossauer Supermarkets. Just 1 minute tacked on, so it's been a pretty straightforward first half. Fontenot, could be one last opportunity in the half. Ginger Fontenot works it back for Knox. Pressure from Jaskinik. Minutes come and gone. How long will this be allowed to continue? Reese Tappan blows by. Tappan towards Solano. And the whistle goes to end half number 1. On a night where a win puts Lexington in first place or a win puts Spokane in a playoff position, a very tight 45 minutes ends 0-0.
It'll be interesting to see how Spokane comes out. I think Lexington needs to figure out an answer attack-wise in the final third. They need to connect more. They need to find Barry's feet more, allow her to run at the defense like we just saw there at the end. And then for Spokane, come back out on the front foot. They've controlled most of the possession in the last half of the first half. Start where you left off.
Are you happier as one of the two managers at this point, or pretty neutral both ways?
I think if you're Lukic, you're starting to see your team grow into the game more, so you can take positives away from that. I think Lexington has a little bit more work to do.
Lexington and Spokane both coming into this game off back-to-back victories. looking to make it 3 straight wins. The first half that had some chances both ways. And we are joined now by Spokane goalkeeper Hope Heisey. Hope, it's Joe Malfa, Saskia Weber up in the booth. What did you see from your back line in that first half, going up against 2 top attacking players in Catherine Barry and Mackenzie Weiner, who were neutralized in the first 45?
Yeah, I mean, they're obviously some of the best attacking players in the league. We know that, and we were just, really keyed in on trying to limit their shots. I think we can do a much better job shifting in the back line to make sure that we're defending those long balls. But overall, I thought we did a pretty okay job with both of them. They're both quality players, so we have a lot of respect for them.
Hope, Saskia Weber here. What do you have to do coming out of the second half? You got some momentum there towards the end of the first half. What do you have to do to get on the board and close this out?
Yeah, I think we're not being first and second balls. I think that's a big thing. Like if we're going to go long and that's kind of our MO, then we have to be able to win those balls and retain possession higher in their half. So that'll be the goal for the upcoming half.
Thanks, Hope. Best of luck in half number 2.
Thanks, Hope.
Thank you.
Hope Heisey, goalkeeper, Spokane Zephyr. Both sides pitching a shutout through the first 45 minutes. Very tightly contested with 3 massive points on the line. Just a couple of weeks away from the finish line in the regular season. Spokane Zephyr 0, Lexington SC 0. More to come in the Gainbridge Super League here on Peacock.
Jacksonville, what a magical run it's been in their inaugural season.
Unbelievable! Lexington have doubled!
Carolina ascent on top.
Tremendous team goal for Power FC. Spokane on the scoreboard in a very important game for playoff positioning.
Today, we accomplished nothing. I mean it, not a thing. And it was kind of everything.
This spring, stay 3 nights and get a $50 Best Western gift card.
Prinks Tires in the USL help soccer journeys everywhere to drive harder. From city playgrounds to suburban sidelines, from early mornings to late nights, from fun with friends to winner takes all, from the biggest fan to the biggest heart. And at every turn, Prinks Tires will be there for the long haul.
At Eastern Washington University, students and faculty work side by side to restore a lost prairie and decrease our carbon footprint. Composers are writing music to help us understand how salmon migrate. And urban and regional planning students partner with cities to gather the data they need to address homelessness. Interdisciplinary education that gets real about the real world. That's Eastern Washington University and you.
I'm a real wild one. Once in a while, we all want to go wild. We just need a little help. Meet a little help. The 2024 Ford Bronco Sport Wild Edition goes over any terrain, so you can go all out. Get a wild deal on a Bronco Sport today. Lease a Bronco Sport Wild Edition for $339 a month for 36 months, or purchase with 3.9 for 36 and get $2,000 wild bonus cash.
Scoreless at the break between Spokane and Lexington. Pivotal matchup for both these teams in their respective playoff chases. Lexington looking for the top spot. Spokane just looking to get in and take that fourth spot as things stand. Look at the upcoming schedule around the Gainbridge Super League. It puts in the crosshairs Sporting Jacks, the team right now that going back and forth with Lexington for that top spot. They play tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern Time against Brooklyn. And then Wednesday they turn around and play again on the road against DC Power. So while right now it's Sporting Jacks in the live table with a game in hand on Lexington, come next weekend it'll be the other way around. These two teams trying to outdo each other. Lexington just coming off a win over Sporting Jacks in their own right. In the latest installment of our Built for Success docu-series, we're highlighting DC Power's Alexis Duray, a rookie making an immediate impact while navigating an emotional season off the field. Here's a preview of how she's leaning on the game, her teammates, and her family through it all.
Alexis is a player that already made big strides to becoming one of the better players in the league.
Don't let it across, don't let it across.
She's an all-around player, and you don't see that often.
My dad was my first coach. At the beginning of this year, my father passed away very unexpectedly.
This is Miss Nala. She has been my little emotional support baby.
Sporting Jacks takes the field against DC Power.
For her to go out there and still continue to go after her dream, it's very impressive.
Being a part of the Gainbridge Super League has meant a lot to me, and I'm really excited to see where the end of this year takes us.
A scoreless start to this one in the Gainbridge Super League through 45 minutes. And look back at highlights from half number one. Saskia, there's actually quite a bit to choose from in a game that is 0-0. A couple of big saves either way, some chances for both these teams.
Yeah, and the first chance for Catherine Berry comes in the 7th minute. Gonna see her cut across here, but just can't get around this enough. Breaks into the space, just can't get around it to put that on the frame and really challenge Hope Heisey. But speaking of challenging Hope Heisey, what a great pass into space onto Bourgeois' feet. But this is Hope Heisey's ball all the way. She gets great timing on her set, gets that low hand down, and parries it around the far post.
It was great catching up with her before halftime about the half she's seen for Spokane. She was almost given a lead on this effort from Lena Solano.
Yeah, and it's just Solano's just a little bit past the post when she tries to head this back in the direction. Misses, not by much though.
For a player who has been terrific this year, again, it's one you expect her to finish. 9 shots combined between these two teams. Possession still tilting Lexington's way, but not to the degree it was earlier in this one. Spokane really grew into that first half.
Yeah, and I felt Spokane had the better of the possession. They were more effective in the final third. They kept Lexington pinned back. Lexington possession was more lateral and not going forward. That has to change in the second half.
A lot at stake in half number 2. Lexington looking to take control of the number 1 overall seed, an inch closer toward at least clinching a home playoff game. On the other side, Spokane looking to get into a playoff spot. They need a win to do so to leapfrog into 4th. 45 down, 45 to go between Spokane and Lexington. More to come in the Gainbridge Super League. Teams have taken the field. We are set to begin half number 2. Spokane and Lexington both looking for that goal to break the ice. Happy to have you with us on Peacock alongside Saskia Weber. I'm Joe Malfa. See if there's a quicker start to this second half for Spokane than there was in the first half. It was Lexington on the front foot the first 20-odd minutes, And then it was Spokane who ended the first half in control. Will they continue? Will Lexington wrestle control back? We'll find out together as we are underway in half number 2. Oh, pause. Hold on. A little false start from Spokane. Not quite underway in half number 2 yet. Run it back. Reset the watch, Justin St. Pierre. They're getting the scoreboard set back as well. All right, take 2. Now underway in half number 2. Spokane Stadium in Spokane, Washington. Crowd's been into it all night. Spokane Zephyr back-to-back wins coming into this one. Same for Lexington. Both sides looking for a 3rd consecutive victory, peaking at the right time with that finish line in sight. Spokane got the result they needed yesterday. Had asked Nicole Lukic, look out, almost given away to a charging Sarah Griffith. We asked Nicole Lukic yesterday, what sort of scoreboard watching are they doing? She said the players are pretty much isolated from it. She knows that they're on their phones, that they're taking a peek at games, and it's natural to see it. Now, she said she's watching it very closely, and she knew exactly what was going on in that DC-Dallas game yesterday that ended in a tie to put Spokane in this position where a win lifts them into a playoff spot at the end of the night. But can they capitalize on it? Tanner Schartz gearing up for another long throw. He's asking for a short option to show perhaps as well. Now Schartz just sends it long toward goal. And Fontenot will clear. Bourgeois settled. There was a shout for a handball there as it was flicked on by McCain, but the offside flag came up.
And it's a little bit coming out of half for Lexington. More aggressive, going more direct. That was obviously the halftime conversation, and immediately trying to find Catherine Berry's feet with that first ball in.
Weiner.
And that's that second ball that Hope Heisey was talking about. Those services out of the back on the build, there's no Spokane player around it, and Lexington's getting free headers to put it right back into the mix. You want to get somebody on the end of that ball, want that ball flicked on, and if you don't get to it, then you're on the second ball.
Another opportunity for Hannah Schartz for the long throw. Essentially bonus set pieces here. Solano getting as close as she can without it becoming an issue for the referee. Just to try and make life a little more difficult for Hannah Schartz. Thrown over the top of Solano. Solano over her head to herself. Schartz wins it back. McCain. Fed through by Raji. Kenzie Weiner, end line. Weiner delivering. Griffith tracking it down. Instead it's Fontenot who wins it.
And if you ask me what I think that halftime conversation from Coach Mora was with Lexington, was this ball's got to move a lot faster, and we had talked about that in the first half. Well, it was too slow moving the ball around. You could see when they are in possession, it's a 1-2 touch now.
Hansen cutting in field, blocked. Weiner. dangerous one going in. It's a yellow shown to McCann, and it'll be a free kick for Spokane. It's one of those where if you miss by about an inch or so, that could be red instead of yellow. Take a look.
And then McCann comes in here, cleats up, and baby, right at the last second, put the cleat down. I totally agree with you, Joe. That's teetering on. You hit the leg wrong there. That's a red card.
So yellow for McCain. Joins Catherine Barry in the book. The only 2 yellows so far, both on the Lexington side of things.
This actually gives a chance for Spokane to kind of calm things down a little bit. Lexington came out like a shotgun out of second half. Spokane wants to slow it down, get control again, like they did at the end of the first half.
Zephyr fans, want to upgrade your home comfort? Holiday Heating, Cooling, and Electric is giving away a Honeywell Wi-Fi smart thermostat valued at nearly $500. Scan the QR code for your chance to win. Jaskinek. Murray flicked on. Good idea, but the run a little bit late from Felicia Knox. Barry. Forging a way through. Catherine Barry has the support of Weinert. Uses it. Mackenzie Weinert still with it to the end line. Weinert cutting it back. Barry a little bit too far away, and it's cleared by Helly Thomas.
And that's that break we had talked about before, about Barry now dribbling into the space, trying to draw the defense instead of trying to force that pass early. And you saw how that created that opening for Weinert to run into. She just couldn't get the cross back into the box, back to find Barry.
Solano. Fontenot. Spraying it wide for Maya Hansen to run onto. Hansen centering. Steered away only as far as tap in, but won back by Lexington. Do well to clear it upfield, ending the threat of Spokane.
And you can see Coach Kimura saying, calm, calm, with that errant ball that Lexington just jumped back into Spokane's defense. Calm, calm, bring the ball back around.
Good ball over the top of Catherine Rapp. Rapp for Solano. Fumbled for a moment by Asman with a lot of traffic in front of her. Barry. Oh, wanted to go at goal from a long way out, spotting Heisey off her line, but scuffed it. Fontenot. Raji. Felicia Knox looking through. So all of a sudden it seems like Spokane is gaining a footing again like the first half, but not finding the connections in the attacking half.
Yeah, and there's no need for Knox to force that ball into that space. Actually, she should have played the ball near side and just allow her teammates to catch back up. Don't force it. There's no reason to. You have control of it, and actually nobody had stepped to her. She wasn't under any pressure.
Yellow for knocking the ball away at the end of that one. Needless from Katie Murray, as she's the first member of Spokane into the book this evening.
It was just a battle for the ball, and I think when Katie Murray stepped in, it was just that follow through after the ball had popped out.
Zephyr fans, get ready with the latest Zephyr merchandise. Shop online or in the team store at the Davenport Grand Hotel in Spokane. Tapping back for Heisey.
It's better movement and good pressure out of Lexington, but it's just, again, Joe, it's the final pass in the final third. They're creating and they're moving the ball forward, but then they're just off by a hair when it comes to that final connection.
Kosuke Kumara in the fourth official's ear. Been going at it a lot tonight. Respectful it's always seemed. It's never escalated. There's been a lot of explaining and questioning and answers that maybe Kosuke Kumara doesn't quite love. Nice move, end line. Murray feeding it for Rapp. And gathered by Asman. Sarah Griffith into space for Mackenzie Weinert. Weinert floating it toward that back post. That turned into his shot. It looked like a cross. There was almost trouble for Hope Heisey.
Yeah, and it's good movement by Lexington to switch point of attack quickly, but I like Hope Heisey's positioning on this. Coming out big, all that does is tell Weinert that you can't cross the ball inside the 6, and so that'll force them to pull those services out further.
Griffith. Just feels like it's been a step too slow in these moments for Lexington, igniting the attack. Contact there. Referee at a good vantage point, says play on.
And that's where the misconnect is, like the service behind the players, not in front of the players, to the wrong players. This is just that last final answer for Lexington is off.
Another chance at a long throw for Hannah Schartz.
And I still, instead of forcing those passes, I'd like to see somebody just pull up and take a shot from the top of the box. Cut across in front of a defender and have a go at it.
Long throw from Schartz. It's been a weapon in this game, but it hasn't yielded any effort at goal. Now pops it over the top. Backwards flick on toward goal into the hands of Heisey. Wonder when these coaches dip into the bench. Ticking toward the hour mark. Looks like two players are up and ready Getting final instructions from the assistant coaches on the Spokane side of the equation. Sophia Braun in the midst of it with Allie Cook, it appears. See if those come to pass in the near future. Henson. Free kick coming for Lexington. Looks like it's going to be Shea Collins, Katie Murray, and Sophia Braun for Lena Solano, what we're told. See bottom of your screen there, those two players set to check in for Spokane. Now those changes will take hold. It is Collins and Braun in for Solano and Murray. Here in the 62nd minute. Spokane going to the bench first. How will Lexington counter? What will these two sets of fresh legs bring to the equation as we tick toward 90? Hour gone, half hour remains.
And I think with Murray's yellow card, this sub makes sense. You want in this last stretch, this last 30 minutes, you know, especially your forward to be able to go hard and not worry about doing that on a card. I'm a little surprised about Solano, but getting the fresh legs in there with Collins, we'll see how that affects the attack for Spokane.
Weiner. That's it back, still Weiner. Will trickle out for a throw. Shards again gearing up for a long throw. A lot of traffic around Heisey, but she navigates it. You can scan now for your latest ticket deals for Spokane Zephyr FC.
This is a tough ball for Heisey to have to catch through that crowd. She almost caught it like a basket catch around a Lexington player, but coming up with it nonetheless.
Flag will stay down here. Fed through McCain, switching, early ball across for Weiner to latch on to. Mackenzie Weiner, oh, well read, tracking back defensively was Emma Jaskinek. Raji lost it. Substitute Sophia Braun in defensively to help out.
That was great work by Jaskinek to get back and to give time for the rest of the Spokane defense to get back and set back up on that transition.
Hello, shown to Kosuke Kimura.
Well, although respectful, he has been very vocal on the sideline and animated, so enough was enough, I suppose.
Cutting in, Barry curling it toward that far post. To no avail.
Oh, and it ended up being the assistant coach, who was actually very vocal and animated as well.
Well, either way, bench has to be a little bit more careful. Nate Walter, the goalkeeping coach, picking up the yellow.
Just like a goalkeeping coach, I picked up my share of yellows at UCLA as well, trust me.
Never, Saskia, never.
No, never.
Lumberbeard Brewing is proud to be the preferred craft brewery partner for USL Spokane. Visit our downtown tasting room for expertly brewed craft beer and food.
And I think in these last minutes of the second half, you're going to start see Spokane press more. They're going to have to go for a win here. Like you talked about, it's just the tie isn't really where they want to be at in this situation to get themselves in a good position for the playoffs. So things are going to open up.
The tie squanders an opportunity because last night you had the two teams you're chasing in Dallas and DC tie each other.
Exactly.
So the door was open coming into the night where with a win, Spokane would go a point better than Dallas and 2 points better than DC into fourth place. Could it happen here? Emma Jaskinek through. Long run to get there, but it's out of play. Catherine Rapp was chasing and Casman shielded it off.
And better by Spokane, and like I said, they're going to have to open things up and really try to go and get these 3 points from Lexington. Just a little too much on that pass.
Lexington wants 3 points of their own, but it's different. When you're already in the playoffs, there's a different sense of urgency. They know that no matter what happens, they're going to be in Lexington. It's the difference of the 1 seed, the 2 seed, which is important, but it's a different urgency for Spokane right now.
And we'll see if Spokane starts to spread things out and really starts to high press more when Lexington is building out of their back. Tries to get something on the board here.
Spokane's final 2 games, we'll see them here home again. They host DC, one of the teams they're chasing, and they host Brooklyn, one of the teams below them who might be eliminated as early as this weekend. 2 matches that maybe you fancy Spokane to win, especially the way they've been playing as of late. But they don't quite control destiny because they don't play Dallas. Dallas right now are the team that control destiny. Space for Rapp. Flag stayed down. Catherine Rapp muscled away by Pantuso.
Great defense by Pantuso. Rapp just could never get control of that ball under her feet. It kept bouncing up to her, which, you know, slowed her down a little bit on that break and allowed Pantuso to catch back up.
4 shots in the second half for Lexington, just 1 for Spokane. The 1 shot on target for Lexington. Cleared long again by Hope Heisey. If this were 4 weeks ago, Saskia, Spokane might be playing for a draw. Yes, you're at home and you always have that old adage, win at home, tie on the road. But a few weeks ago, Spokane...
What adage is that?
Well, you know...
I'm just kidding. I played for the U.S. national team. I've never heard that
always
adage.
Win. You always want to
win.
We'll come back to that in a second as Weinert leads the attack for Lexington. You're used to just win, win, win. Weinert through. Elmer lost it. So this was a few weeks ago for a Spokane team who at the time was looking to just stabilize. You would have been happy with a tie against this Lexington team, but not tonight. Tonight you want the win. Collins tracks it down, but couldn't deliver an accurate service.
But you also know you can win, and that's the other
Right.
thing. This has been a back and forth 50-50 game. Nobody has taken control of this game. It's not like Spokane has played defense 90% of the game and Lexington has just missed a lot of good opportunities. I think in their heart, Spokane knows that they can win this game, and they're going to go after it.
Tati Fung is getting ready to come on for Lexington. Told she'll replace Daria Raji. Fung has been a good service provider for Lexington. 5 assists in 21 games this season. McCain. Barry. Weiner was flat-footed, wasn't expecting the ball played across by Barry. 15 goals in the season, it's fair. You expect her to turn around and just go for a goal there, Barry. Maybe you do want your striker to be a bit more selfish in that moment and go for a goal. The moment gone now.
And I agree, I do think at this point in the game, I would be looking for Barry to be more selfish.
Steigletter.
And Lexington doing a good job to break that press on the build. And it's because they have the field so spread out. It's hard to press when your attacking team is on touchline to touchline, sideline to sideline. How do you cover that? There's so much space to pass into and build out of.
A free kick coming for Lexington.
I just got her foot there. I don't really think there was any ill intent. It was just a tough challenge. Unfortunately, to clip the foot.
Here's that change. Fung on for Raji. First sub for Lexington. They have 4 remaining. Spokane have 3 remaining. Interesting, both these coaches waiting a while to make changes. It's almost hard getting back to the old days of just 3 subs, which is still not that long ago. It's really only been about 6 years since that change was universally adopted around the world. Sometimes coaches still clock into that old mindset.
Yeah.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Keep the team out there. Kane for Weiner. Drops it back. Griffith blocked. It's behind Felicia Knox, but does well to recover. Through the middle for Shea Collins to substitute. Collins ahead, gets it back. Fontenot making the run. Gets it now, Ginger Fontenot. Braun. Reese Tappan driving one ahead. Fontenot. Played back to Euler. Euler through, good find for Emma Jaskinek. Settled by Braun. Fontenot lost it. Barry can get upfield.
That was better movement by Spokane, but again, no answer in the final third and on that final pass. I would have liked to see somebody just take a long touch. I'm gonna keep saying this tonight. Somebody take a shot from distance.
Fontenot. Good defensive play from Bourgeois, or is it? Looks like she got it cleanly, but now the free kick awarded.
Yeah, it looked like maybe a little bit of a clip there. on Fano on the follow through by Bourgeois. She just kind of missed the ball actually and got all feet.
Over the top from the free kick. Never a chance for Spokane, but kept alive. Knox. Jaskinik. Knox. Quarter of an hour remains. Glad to have had you with us this evening on Peacock. With Saskia Weber, I'm Joe Malfa here in the Gainbridge Super League. Couple of weeks remaining in the regular season. Lexington hunting the 1 seed. Spokane hunting a playoff spot. Both teams coming off back-to-back wins, looking to make it 3 in a row. Been deadlocked all evening. Golden Boot leader Catherine Barry looking ahead, finding Addie McCain.
And you can tell the difference that Lexington is solely fine with bringing the ball back, working it around. They don't have that sense of urgency that you're starting to feel build in Spokane.
Knox. Hansen. At Bellevue University, your success is the only thing that matters. That's why they offer education that's designed to help you achieve your next goal. Find out more at degrees.bellevue.edu/goals. Hannah Johnson readying to come on for Lexington. Told it'll be for Mackenzie Weiner. McCain. Plenty of space, going for it, looking through for Barry. Flag stays down. Barry off her chest, still in play, scoring it back. It's cleared. Good stop by Hope Heisey initially. In toward Barry again. On 15 goals this season, the Golden Boot leader. It's been her best look of the night.
That's a huge stop by Hope Heisey, and this is why. She timed it as Barry got that ball. It comes across Barry's body and turns Hope Heisey's stealing space. So by the time Barry takes to take the shot, Hope Heisey's nice and big and smothers that ball. Great goalkeeping.
Spokane readying a change of their own as well here. We'll see at least one for each team. Now 2 more pulling on the jersey for Lexington. So we could see wholesale changes here at the tail end of this. Allie Cook will be replacing Felicia Knox for Spokane. Knox intercepted, well read by Bourgeois. Oh, she stepped on the ball though, just as the eyes got big and saw the space in front. The moment died. Barry cutting in. Barry deflected and wide. Had that not gotten off the back of teammate Bourgeois, it might have been 16 for Barry on the season.
Yeah, that one had some eyes on it, and unfortunately for Barry, it just ricocheted off Bourgeois' back. It had some movement. But I don't know, the way Hope Heisey's been playing tonight,
True.
her timing and her set position, she might have been all over that one as well.
Here's that change, Knox out, Cook in. Space. Bourgeois cutting in. Bourgeois. Weiner going for goal. It's saved. Now she's offside. So before the corner, it'll be offside. Lexington will make 3 changes. That might be the last involvement for Weiner. Hannah Johnson will replace her. Also, Hannah White and Nicole Vernis checking in. It'll be Addie McCain and Catherine Barry, the other 2 off. So a trio of changes for Lexington.
These are all attacking changes. Leads me to believe Lexington, with the pressure Lexington has been putting on Spokane in these last 10 minutes, putting some fresh legs in there, getting a different look, seeing if Lexington can pull out the win.
Under 10 remaining. Try and find that victory for either of these 2 teams. Elmer switching. Bourgeois.
Such a nice swish by Elmer, full field. Unfortunately, Bourgeois just couldn't connect on the other end with the next pass.
Jeskinek through for Rapp from distance. It's Rapp off the bar. Oh, nearly the winner, perhaps for Spokane.
There it is. That is the shot I've been asking for all night long, and it just rattles the top of the bar.
It's 2 goals in 6 appearances since she was picked up mid-season. That's her birthday, by the way. Would have been a way to punctuate it. Celebrating 22 today.
And just watch Rapp step into space, look up, and just pull the trigger. Doesn't get it to dip, so it just hits off the crossbar and goes up and over. But my, by an inch, Joe.
Tapping. Could give some life here to Spokane. If it's not a goal, it's a near goal, and it can give some confidence to go on and find that goal.
Well, it's a great answer to the pressure that they've been under for the past 10 minutes by Lexington. Getting a little bit of space and just rattling the crossbar. Absolutely, it wakes you up and it says, hey, we're still in this.
Zephyr fans, scan the QR code for your chance to win a $100 gift card to Rosauer Supermarket's official grocery store of your Spokane Velocity and Zephyr FC. Picked up by White. Elmer. Fung. Tuso. Good hustle in the press from Spokane. Difficult for Lexington to play out of it. Stuck in their own half. Vernis. Braun finding Fontenot. Long run to get there. Will she keep it in play? No. Heavy legs at this stage of the game.
I like that switch though by Spokane. Little less on that, and Fontenot can take a different angle with the ball and go to goal.
Well, it's unselfish there, looking for an immediate service, but there was nobody in there for Spokane.
here we see Spokane just inching up higher and higher in the field to put that pressure on, and they get the throw in deep in Lexington's end because of it.
And this is where you expect them to go for it. Both these sides have their own motives in winning this, but Spokane more desperate. They're not in the playoffs. Lexington already have a spot clinched. Spokane, who are fighting for their lives, play it in, and Aspen has it. A draw doesn't sink them, but with a draw, Spokane fails to capitalize on DC and Dallas tying yesterday. With a win tonight, they would have vaulted into a playoff spot with 2 games to play. They do play DC head-to-head next game, but they would also then need Dallas to falter. I'll give it away. Fontenot.
And just rushed. I feel that Fontenot had more time there. She rushed that shot. She could have maybe even taken another touch to set herself up because nobody was pressuring her yet. She also had Rapp sitting at the penalty spot with a little dink pass.
Offside against Spokane with 4 minutes plus stoppage to play. Fung. Griffith. Bourgeois gave it away. Fontenot brought down. Play on, advantage right now for Spokane. Cook calling for edge of the box to the back post. It's too tall for Maya Hansen.
I don't see the advantage there, to be honest with you, Joe. She got the ball solo on the side of the box. Nobody else for Spokane was in the box yet. Had to wait for the team to catch up. Not really advantage. If I was Spokane, I would have rather had the free kick.
Pantuso picks up the yellow.
We're going to see Fontenot just with the touch here, but off foot. No ball there by Pantuso, but again, I don't feel that this is advantage. Had it gone in, I guess it would have been.
Hindsight 2020.
Yes, always.
Braun. Before anything else, it's offside against Spokane. Been a few of those tonight where there had been a foul or something else, but negated by the initial offside. Leaves Bourgeois sprawled out on the turf.
Yeah, she went down in a little awkward manner with that challenge. Just gonna see the long pass in here. I'm not really sure where the foul is with Collins cutting back to get the ball. I don't know if it was a foul as much as was Collins offside.
Offside was the official call.
Okay,
in the end, yes.
yeah. I think as Collins passed by Bourgeois, she kind of clipped her in the chin.
Going through that concussion check here. Fans watching with bated breath. 90 seconds of the 90 minutes remaining, plus stoppage time.
You know, and although Spokane, if it ends 0-0 right now, Joe, Spokane couldn't take advantage of that tie, they're still not out of it. And if anything, you can take positives away from this. You went head-to-head with it, what arguably is the #1 team in the league, or could be the #1 team in the league. You know, toe-to-toe, there was nobody got dominated this evening, and you had multiple opportunities. That one that just rattled off the crossbar to win this game.
It gives you that hope if you make the playoffs that you can go toe-to-toe with the top team that you'll face
100%.
in that opening round, but that's if you make the playoffs. And a win tonight would have certainly made that feel like more of a possibility. With a win tonight, Spokane would control their own fate over Dallas, over DC, but they relinquished that control if this ends as a draw or a defeat.
Well, it's not over yet, Joe, and I'm always just like, it only takes a couple seconds to score a goal.
And they will have 3 minutes of stoppage time, presented by Rosauer Supermarkets. So if it takes a couple seconds to score a goal, to your point, got 180 seconds to try and figure it out.
Way to do the math, real quick.
I thought about it for a second, I had to make sure. Hannah Johnson. See if that lengthy stoppage there forged the rhythm of the late stage of this game, which saw Spokane on the front foot. Really, the second half did mirror the first half, which was Lexington controlling the early portion of the half, and Spokane controlling the latter portion of the half. Cook, corner coming.
It's a good opportunity for Spokane, and it's a good attack here, getting that ball in. I like the run by Cook into the box, by Jeskanik into the box there, just not getting there in time, but still getting the corner out of it. I'm surprised Hope Heisey's not up in the box right now.
It's not a bad shout considering a loss and a draw are almost equivalent in this playoff chase for Spokane. Got to be going for all three. Euler from the corner. The header was there, but it's over the bar.
And unfortunately, Spokane players challenged each other, which caused that header to go over the bar. The reason I always I'm surprised when keepers don't come up, they have such great timing. We have such great timing on crosses and everything. That's why you always see keepers get on the end of corner kicks.
Keeper's usually taller as well. Usually. Well, final minute of stoppage time now. And Lexington ward off Spokane's late charge and steal 3 points of their own. Don't give it away. Jeskanik sent on a run for Ali Cook. Still has it, waiting for some support. Cook lost it. Given right back though by Lexington, and one right back by the visitors. Back and forth this goes in the closing seconds. Griffith, Johnson.
And unfortunately for Cook on that run, just didn't have any support. She did as well as she could holding on to that ball. And in the end, too many Lexington players converged on her.
3 minutes of stoppage come and gone. Is there anything left in this one? Stagletter's down right now. Beyond the 3 minutes. Looks like Lexington will get one final sub in as Stagletter's helped to a knee, but will there be any time left anyway? Is there even a need to make this sub? It's all just delaying the inevitable 0-0 draw that I think we've seemed destined for a little while. Cassie Rohan enters. And one last chance for Spokane. Hansen ahead. Ricochets to Cook. Cleared upfield by Fung. Almost at 5 minutes of stoppage time played when only 3 were given. No sign of a whistle yet. Jason St. Pierre, the referee, over the top toward Fontenot. Chased down by Bourgeois. And that will likely do it. Spokane and Lexington hear the final whistle sound as they chase different things right now. Lexington chasing the top overall seed. Spokane chasing a playoff spot. They both would have liked 3, and tonight they both settle for 1.
And it was a good matchup. Like I said, it was equal. Nobody dominated the other team. We had moments of 10-minute spurts where Lexington had the possession or where Spokane had the possession. Both teams had multiple chances on goal. And at the end of the day, Hope Heisey came up huge, in my opinion, for Spokane with some big clutch saves.
Finishes goalless this evening between Spokane and Lexington. We're back on the other side to wrap things up from One Spokane Stadium. Tough one tonight. Both teams looking for the victory. They settle for the draw in this tight playoff chase. Hey, Haley, it's Joe in the booth. We're in a break. Thanks for sticking tight with us. It'll just be a couple questions each for us, and then we'll let you go. Thank you.
Yep, of course.
Finishes scoreless this evening between Spokane and Lexington. We're joined now by Spokane captain Haley Thomas. Haley, it's Joe Malfa, Saskia Weber up in the booth. Curious from your vantage point at center back out there for Spokane, what you saw in this one. It felt like a chess match the whole way, finishing 0-0.
Yeah, I think we didn't come out our strongest today, but as the game went on, we kind of got into our rhythm. We always seem to have a good game against these guys. We'll take the point. I do think we could have got the 3 points tonight. At the end of the day, it's still good momentum for us going into next weekend.
Yeah, and what are some of the takeaways that you did, that you put your plan into place tonight that you can build off of going into next weekend?
I mean, I feel like lately, the last couple weeks, we found a way to win the game, get a point. There seems to be a different energy out there on the pitch, and I feel like that's kind of what's like pulling us in this playoff push right now. So I know that we will carry that into the game next week against DC and get 3 points.
And Haley, this is one of the top teams in the league that you're going up against. It's been Sporting Jacks and Lexington going back and forth between number 1 and number 2. What does a result like this tonight do in terms of your group's confidence in case a couple of weeks from now you're going right back up against this Lexington team perhaps in the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, I think we can compete with the top teams in this league. I think we've proven that we can be a top team in this league. We got 3 points against Jacks. We're right there with Lexington. So honestly, I hope we do see them again in the playoffs. I really do, because I think that will be our moment to get the 3 points.
I think we're all hoping for that as well. We've got it circled. Thank you. Best of luck the rest of the way.
Thank you. Love that attitude.
Thank you.
That's Haley Thomas, captain of Spokane Zephyr FC. This evening, a 0-0 draw between Spokane and Lexington. As we take a look back at the highlights of how it all went down, not all 0-0s are created equally. Both these teams had chances, and neither team could convert tonight. We'll take you back all the way to the 26th minute, where one of the best chances of the night took place.
Yeah, it's such a nice ball in here for Jacksonville, but coming up with a huge save to the lower hand down corner was Hope Heisey. One of the saves of the match for her today.
As that half continued, Spokane really took control of the late stages of that first half. Lena Solano would probably want this one back.
Yeah, just a little bit too far body-wise past the post, so trying to get it back on frame was a tall task.
And then later in this one, 77th minute, the play of the match brought to you by Modelo, the mark of a fighter. This stop from Hope Heisey.
Yeah, the timing on Hope Heisey here on Barry as Barry ran onto this through ball was great goalkeeping, and then her defense backed her up and got the clear off the line.
That's not any striker. That's the Golden Boot leading and likely Golden Boot winning striker. This was the moment, though, for Spokane off the crossbar on the strike by Catherine Rapp.
And I'd been calling for shots from outside the box all game, and Rapp just rattles the crossbar, and that one doesn't go in.
Stats paint a pretty even picture, and even was the theme of the night as it finishes 0-0. Deserved probably point for both teams.
It was, and I think Spokane can take positives away from that. I think Lexington as well needs to build, understand that, and need to connect better in the final third, trying to get into the first place and going into the playoffs. And Spokane is on point. They can compete with the top teams in this league.
We'll take a look with that at the standings in the Gainbridge Super League at the end of the night. Lexington, they do go into first with a tiebreaker over Sporting Jacks, but Sporting Jacks now have a game in hand. On the other side, Spokane sitting in 6th. They didn't capitalize on Dallas and DC tying last night. They could have gotten into 4th with a win, but instead, it is Dallas still who control their own outcome over the final couple weeks of this season. That'll do it for us this evening from Spokane. We're back at it tomorrow on Peacock at 5 p.m. Eastern when Sporting Jacks welcomes Brooklyn. It was a tough one tonight, very tight all the way through between Spokane and Lexington as it finishes 0-0. The crew that makes this possible, broadcast partner Saskia Weber, I'm Joe Malva saying so long for now. Thanks for joining us for the Gainbridge Super League on Peacock. Good night, everybody.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.